What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today we're going to be playing offlane Sevarog. Now, I'm not going to discuss the deck really at all. It's almost the exact same as my jungle deck, except instead of the Striker's Siphon, I've went with a ward, and instead of 2 strike tokens, I have a strike token and a healer token. So instead of, starting the match off with that Siphon, I go ahead and pick up a healer token and a strike token. Now, their team does not have a support. They have a Seraph and a Chimera that are both kind of jungling, and this is the type of match that, our team comp is way better than theirs, but if we allow them to get fed up, they're really going to, cause a lot of pain onto us in that late game. So we really need to kind of put a stop to them early on. Maybe not so much as in killing them, but, really pushing lanes and keeping control of lanes. Now, for the kind of newer Sevarog heroes, or really even the advanced Sevarog players, I prefer seeing them in the jungle, because you can really be a frontline fighter when you're in the jungle. Unless you're on comms with your team and you can switch from off lane to jungle or off lane to, some other type of lane mid game, you really can't be a just great frontline fighter because you're not around when the fight's starting. Since you are in that off lane, the enemy carry is going to be pushing against you pretty regular because they want to get that farm. And if you're with a good team that has good communication, it can work. But in this case, their carry is by himself for this entire game, so he's got a pretty good control of this lane, and he's slow farming, so that's not allowing my lane to push, and I'm really starved for souls pretty late into this, beginning to mid game. Now, being a good Sevarog does not mean you are great at getting souls. I would say your creep score should be no more than double your souls count, and I actually just fall apart with getting my souls this game. I'm, trying to do the best that I can to hold off this Revenant, and I really wish I would have just let him push this tower so I can start getting my souls. But as I said, souls don't make Sevarog good. Sevarog's kit makes him good. His souls just make him better. You're able to tank a lot more. And I build my Sevarog pretty much like a bruiser, but by the end of the game, I'm almost a full tank that has the damage of a bruiser, if I'm getting my souls right. And when you're in lane, it's just really hard to do that. Now, once again, I am in a solo queue, and I'm playing with a hero that not only strives at not being in a solo queue, in a position that is much easier for me to not be in a solo queue. Now, I go ahead and go in on this Revenant, but I have not had any team rotation. We could have got a lot of kills fairly easy if I would have had just some sort of rotation, but our Revenant jungler has not came over in my lane at all. And with the combination of not having any sort of jungle support and them only having a carry in my lane, he's not able to get my tower down, and I'm just starving myself for card points at this point. So I do start playing a little more aggressive. I believe I've only got, a handful of souls at this point, and I would really like to, start not only stacking them up, but make some progress somewhere. Now, Sevarog's Siphon does not take much mana at all, but all of his other abilities take a decent portion of his mana pool. So by the time you do, a couple of roots, a colossal blow, and a rush, you're out of mana. So really just focusing on siphons is kind of how you have to play Sevarog, especially in these early levels where, you know, your mana pool is just so small. Now I might have been able to die for that tower, but I got a good bit of damage on it. Their Revenant rotated over, so I'm going against a Revenant and a Seraph, and there's no way I'm going to survive. At 11 minutes, our jungler finally comes over, but he actually never even comes into my lane still. I believe no one ever came into the off lane this entire game until, I want to say, 35 minutes or so, when I was in the lane and Twin Blast decided to head over to me. Now, I go ahead and steal this gold buff from Revenant. I'm not exactly sure why he was just standing there. He might have been typing or something, but I was able to steal that pretty easily, and I'm going to try to defend this. I've pinged for help several times and no one's came over, so I'm not even bothering saying it now, and I'm out of mana. There's not a whole lot I can do, and I actually end up getting my first death here. Now, this was just a bad play on my part. I should have just backed up and just completely let him have this. I was just trying to defend this lane. You know, if you look at the minimap, my team is just absolutely chasing kills everywhere. But they took down that tier 1 tower, so that's going to free me up to farm a little more. Now, once I spawn in and head back in, their Revenant is still in my lane, you know, slow farming this lane, and we should have had some sort of rotation after that tower went down, just to, you know, definitely keep it off of the tier 2. But my team they're really focused on that safe lane, mid lane side. And like I said, I don't even think my team has stepped foot in the off lane so far this match. So I'm going to just kind of do the best I can. Now, I should be slow farming to really get souls here, but I want to just clear this lane out and head over to mid because, you know, my team keeps really engaging and I should be there. And this is really the main reason why I don't like seeing Sevarog in this off lane. If I'm in lane and, you know, I'm not able to be a efficient frontliner, you know, I should be there when things are about to go down. And if they push a lane and rotate mid without team communication saying, hey, someone needs to go mid or go off lane to take care of that wave that they set, without that kind of team communication, it falls on me, since, you know, off lane is my lane. And that really just makes it very hard to be a frontline hero. Now, this can be solved with simple team communication, but like I said, solo queues with, you know, a Sevarog the way I am, it's just going to be very hard to get anything done. And if you see here, I could have got this Colossal Blow off, but I'm out of mana since I'm in there trying to clean a lane up. And, you know, just one more reason why I don't really care to see a Sevarog in that lane. So I start going back right here, just trying to bait people, and sure enough, this Chimera comes out, but I missed that root. And in my last video, I said, you know, they can be tricky when you go around corners with them. And I go ahead and try to bait them again, and sure enough, they actually do start coming up. My team's going to collapse on them and get another kill. Now here is one of the great, you know, ganks or front lines kind of engages that I am able to complete while still maintaining my lane. I head over here, I end up getting this root on this Seraph, or this Colossal Blow on this Seraph and Countess, and we end up getting a good bit of damage on Countess as well as getting that Seraph kill. Now, Seraph did use her immune on my root, so I would have not got that root on her. But it's okay, we still got the kill, it's no big deal. And their Countess and Revenant go down shortly, as well as their Gideon. So we get a 4-man wipe in that small little engagement, and we're really starting to make a lot of really good progress here. Now here at 23 minutes, me and Twin are in mid lane. I've got Invis, and I actually end up leveling up right here, so I think they might have, saw me and they know I'm here. But I end up going in for this Gideon. I was going to try to root him, but I knew that I was going to miss, so we end up getting that fairly easy kill. I tried to get a double root thinking he would turn back, but I didn't. Ended up getting Chimera, and we ended up getting that fairly easy double kill. Now I end up getting a double root on Seraph and Countess, and we're able to get a fairly easy kill on this Countess. Now I am low on mana, and I'm about half health, but I go ahead and stay in on this tower, thinking, hey, Seraph will focus me instead of going after some of our other targets, since our Twin Blast did just take that massive amount of damage. Unfortunately, Wraith stayed in as well, and Seraph was able to get that kill. So we got a 3-man kill for a 2-man, and significant damage on that inhib. I wish everybody would have got out, and my thinking was, hey, I'm going to stay in on this tower and kind of distract everybody. I was out of mana. There's no way I could escape. So, it's really, I wanted to kind of let the team live, but we didn't end up getting that. Now here at 30 minutes, we end up getting a 4-man wipe, and I've got to head to off lane to clean this up. Now this lane's really going to push on us, so I need to get it down, and my team should have gone for Prime right now, but they end up going ahead and clearing another tower, and they end up making a Prime play, which is good, but I'll kind of show you that happening. But at the same time, this is the main reason I don't like Sevarog in this position. See, I should be collecting these souls, but I'm worried about getting these kills fast because I know my team's about to go for Prime. They pinged Prime a handful of times. We've got those 2 lanes pushed really far. I want to get this lane pushed up far enough to where if we do get Prime, it will be a very simple rotation over, and we can push this tower and get this lane down. Now, this is also another just perfect reasoning in my mind of why Sevarog is not a good lane hero, is because I need to be in the group, supporting our group. Now, they're at Prime. I had no idea they were struggling with it. We had 4 of our team over there. They end up stealing Prime from us, which is just terrible. But I had to be in my lane and set my lane because, that's my lane. I'm Sevarog. That's what I got to do. I head over there to kind of try to help out, but hey, I'm out of mana since I was in my lane. I'm really not a front lane fighter. I might have been able to keep them from securing that with my Colossal Blow or Root or something like that, but instead I've got to stay in this lane, and not only do I have to stay in this lane and defend since I'm the only person left alive, I've got to stay in this lane without any mana. So it's really hard for a Sevarog hero to really stay in lane, push lanes, collect souls at a decent rate, and be a frontline fighter as well. So that's really kind of our problem. Now, our Twin Blast is being salty, saying, hey, why weren't you there? And, hey, this is a team-based game. You need to be there, quit soloing lanes, which, hey, I'm a lane hero. And I go ahead and tell him, hey, this is an objective-based game, and I was getting them off the end hit. That's just exactly why I think Sevarog belongs in the jungle. Now, I've jumped ahead here to kind of our final push, and we end up wrapping this game up. But, I've done a lot of talking about why I don't care for Sevarog in that off-lane position. And this is really not just, hey, I don't like Sevarog. I think Sevarog is a great hero. He's very difficult to play along the lines of Richter. A lot of people hate Richter, but Richter is a very, very good hero in the right hands. And he has just a kit that allows you to get kills. It's just, if you've got an unexperienced Richter, you know, you're going to miss a lot of these grabs. Your team communication is really important when you're using him, knowing how to use his silence correctly, those type of things. Sevarog is along those same lines as well. You really need to spend a lot of time with him, really kind of master his kit and his playstyle before you actually go try to switch into a laning position, in my opinion. Now, if you want to get good with Sevarog, if he fits your playstyle, if you just really enjoy the way he's played, I would highly recommend go for it. You know, play that off-lane position. I think, as I said many times, I feel he's better in the jungle. But if this is the hero that you want to main, if this is the hero that you want to play him in that off-lane and get good with him, spend time with him, and learn his kit. Well, if you enjoyed this video, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.